If you haven't checked out my review of Tron Avery's, I highly recommend doing that first, because I'll be putting together a full ranking of all 3 Tron films tomorrow. Saying how I feel about the latest installment will give you some context before diving into the rest of the franchise, especially since Avery's was such a disappointment for me compared to what I was expecting. But going back to the roots of the series, it's impossible to fully appreciate Tron Legacy without revisiting the original 1982 Tron. The original Tron is such a landmark film in so many ways, and it's absolutely essential to understanding why I love this franchise so much. This movie was way ahead of its time in terms of visuals and technical achievement. The combination of live-action performances, practical sets, and early CGI created a fully realized digital world that, even today, holds up in its own retro, neon-soaked way. There's a tangible way to everything on screen: the costumes, the light suits. The grid itself feels like a fully functioning universe rather than just background. The characters are iconic, from Kevin Flynn to Tron himself, and the story, while straightforward, carries a sense of adventure and wonder that instantly pulls you in. You can see the DNA of these characters, the ideas, and the aesthetics carried over into Legacy, which is part of why revisiting this universe feels so satisfying. The original establishes the tone, the sense of scale, and the imaginative possibilities that Legacy would later expand on. Now, talking about Tron Legacy, this is a movie that has grown on me more than any other in recent memory. When I first watched it back in 2014, I didn't fully grasp how incredible it was. I appreciated it, of course, but it didn't immediately hit me in the way it does now. Revisiting it later, I realized just how underappreciated this film is. It's visually stunning, emotionally resonant, and technically flawless in so many areas. Your nostalgia factor is off the charts. From Sam discovering the old arcade to seeing the neon lights of the grid, there's a sense of wonder and continuity that makes it feel like a proper extension of the world Kevin Flynn created decades earlier. At the same time, it expands that universe in interesting ways, introducing new characters, new conflicts, new technology that keeps it fun fresh. The story is fantastic and surprisingly emotional for a big-budget sci-fi blockbuster. Following Sam Flynn as he navigates the grid, reconnects with his father Kevin, and confronts the villainous CLU is compelling from start to finish. The character development is strong. Sam is a relatable and dynamic protagonist, learning about his father and himself along the way. Cora is an amazing addition to the cast, serving as both a guide and an emotional touchstone within the grid. Jeff Bridges delivers a dual performance as both Kevin Flynn and his digital counterpart, capturing both the human vulnerability and the perfection of a digital creation. CLU as the villain is perfectly cast and terrifying in his own way, embodying the dangers of perfectionism and obsession. Every major character feels essential to the story, and the interactions between them are layered with tension, emotion, and depth. Of course, the visuals in Legacy are nothing short of breathtaking. This is one of the best-looking films ever made, and it's absolutely ahead of its time visually. Scenes like the iconic lightcycle race, the desk battles on moving platforms, and the enormous cube fight at the beginning of the film are jaw-dropping in both scale and execution. The cinematography, combined with the incredible attention to detail, makes every frame meticulously crafted. Even the slow-motion sequences, enhanced by brilliant sound design, are immersive and exciting. The design of the grid itself, from its towering structures to the glowing pathways, it's mesmerizing, making it feel like a fully realized, tangible world. The contrast between the real world and the digital world is handled beautifully, and every element reinforces the film's sense of wonder and excitement. Another standout element is the thematic and emotional depth. Tron Legacy touches on subtle philosophical and religious ideas, particularly in the final confrontation between Kevin Flynn and CLU. It explores themes like creation, perfection, legacy, and free will without ever feeling heavy-handed or over-explained. These ideas are woven seamlessly into the story, giving it layers that make repeat viewings incredibly rewarding. And speaking of layers, the score score by Daft Punk is absolutely legendary. Their electronic compositions perfectly capture the pulse of the grid, blending driving rhythm, haunting melodies, and emotional resonance in a way that complements the story while elevating the visuals. The soundtrack alone could carry the movie, but paired with the visuals and the story, it becomes an unforgettable cinematic experience. Joseph Kosinski's direction is another major strength. His careful storyboarding, pacing, and visual planning make every scene feel intentional and dynamic. The film moves at the perfect rhythm, balancing intense action with quiet emotional moments, highlighting the use of color and the composition of every shot showcase the director at the top of his craft. Even the CGI elements, which some critics have questioned, work incredibly well in context. Seeing you as a fully CGI villain feels natural within this digital world, and you won't even know it's CGI on first viewing unless someone told you. That's a testament to both the visual effects team and Kosinski's direction. So overall, I absolutely adore Tron Legacy. It's thrilling, visually spectacular, emotionally resonant, and endlessly rewatchable. It's a perfect balance of nostalgia and innovation, honoring the original while expanding the universe in exciting ways. This is one of my all-time favorite films, a true masterpiece that deserves more recognition than it gets. For me, it's an easy, unbelievably easy 10 out of freaking 10. What do you all think of Tron Legacy? Did you love it the first time you saw it, or did it take a few years to grow on you like it did for me? How does it rank among your favorite sci-fi or action films? I'd love to hear your opinions and discuss with you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.
Come on.